Hello and welcome to Zhuhai International Circuit in China with a 5 lights tied up with Lewis Hamilton starting on pole for the second time in 2 races, and it's lights out and away they go. It's not the best start from Lewis Hamilton. I think Pierre Gasly's got a better launch. Yes, he has, already in front of him. Hamilton could be overtaken by one of the Red Bulls of Nick de Vries. Russell's going to be overtaken by at least one of the Red Bulls. There's a bit of wheel-to-wheel banging there, and Hamilton leads. He's got in front of Gasly, and that can invite Max Verstappen to get past Gasly as well. And it's the former Red Bull driver who is passed by the Red Bull driver. The reigning world champion is now into P2, but it's still Hamilton who leads from pole, something he failed to do like 2 weeks ago in California. It was a very messy start though. This was Marcus Ericsson, who's currently in P5. He's showing so much pace, so much improvement since his last season in 2018, 5 years ago. All that time in IndyCar has done him so much. He's now in P4. It's a brilliant start from the Super Swede, who now chases down the Alpine of Pierre Gasly. He's got Esteban Ocon behind him as well. Felipe Drugovich had a brilliant start. He's up into P10. He's already in front of his teammate. He started right at the back after being disqualified from qualifying for setting too many laps, which in my opinion is a bit unfair, because technically he didn't set 10 laps. He set 10 laps. He didn't do 10 laps. He came into the pits at the end of the lap. But anyway, we move. These things happen. Drugovich currently in P12, though he's losing a few positions. I think he had a bit of a dodgy turn 10, to be honest. But yeah, down to P13, but still improved up 7 positions in 1 lap, at 10 at one point. That's a brilliant start for him. But I'll focus on the front runner, to be honest. George Russell's not got a front wing. George Russell's got damage. That is huge for George Russell, who has damage. He's down in P9. That is huge for the man who was leading the championship until 2 weeks ago, who started in 3rd when his championship rival was down in 18th place, and now he'll be behind his championship rival. Here is, in fact, his championship rival, not even that far. To be fair, it's quite a big gap. But that is huge. George Russell's got damage. Massive situation here in Zhuhai, China. The first time since 2019. It's the first time a lot of these drivers have actually been to China. I'm trying to think of people who actually have. But let's get a replay of what happened to George Russell. But let's get a replay of the start first. Let's watch it from... No, let's watch Russell. We don't need to replay the start. You can just rewind it if you want to. We haven't actually seen what happened to Russell, so... Have you got a front wing here? Board. It looks like he has. Oh, he just hits the AlphaTauri of Sonoda. That is huge. Tries to get past Sonoda. It's not the best overtaking opportunity, the final corner. And he pays the price. And he now has damage. Now we'll get back live. Of course, it has been announced over this weekend that the next week's Daytona 305 has had some time changes to make it mostly all at night. I think it only be the start of FP1 and FP3 that won't be at night. But apart from that, everything will be at night. And while we're watching replays, Max Verstappen has taken the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Can he win for the first time this season? It's just him and Lando Norris, the two that have only two that have done every single race and not one. So he'll be wanting to win, and I'm sure Lando will as well, but Lando's all the way down near the back of the grid, unfortunately for him. So no fairy tale stories for little Lando, unfortunately. Anyway, just want to go through some time changes for Daytona 305. It's still FP1 and FP2 on a Thursday instead of a Saturday. It's going to be a 5 PM local time start for Daytona, which is just before sunset, and then the sun will set and the testing will finish off at night. Then it'll be a 9 PM FP2 start, that's 2 AM UK time. I should say that FP1 is at 10 PM UK time. Then the same time for FP3, it's at 10 PM, and that will run into the night. And then 2 AM will be qualifying, 3 AM will be the top 5 shootout. Didn't know the top 5 from the qualifying will go into a shootout to decide who will be on pole, or decide the top 5 of the grid. So it's a bit different, just an American feel to it. bit like road course qualifying in NASCAR when you have... Do they do that? It's a bit of a mix, to be honest, between Cup Series, road course and oval, to be honest. And then lights out will be at 1 AM local UK time on the Sunday, which is 8 PM UK time, local time, sorry. Anyway, Hamilton still in P2. It's bringing back 2021 here in China. The country didn't even host this race that season, of course, because of COVID. It's the first time F1 has been to China since the start of COVID, and unfortunately, and of course we went to Shanghai then, but we're not going to Shanghai now, because this is F1 fantasy, not F1. We don't read the circuits F1 goes to. So yeah, that's why we're at Daytona, not Vegas next weekend, and we actually make it so you can Americans can watch it and not just focus on Europeans. How is Drogovic doing? Currently on lap 5 of 71. Probably should have put that out there. It's a 71 lap race. Drogovic is down in 15th. He's not doing brilliantly for Drogovic. He had such a good start, made up 7 positions, but now he's down in 15th, unfortunately, for the young Brazilian. Of course, Liam Lawson, the other driver who made his debut at the Dutch Grand Prix, has already won a race this season. He won a few weeks ago in Rio before his engine failed on the in-lap. Where Drogovic goes through turn 13 towards turn 14. A tricky right-hander. Doesn't really matter how much speed, well, it does matter how much speed you take through, of course. And let's go back to the leading group. Not really seeing many overtakes. You didn't see many overtakes at all last 2 weeks ago in California. Of course, last weekend it was a Daytona 250 for the SRS series. We saw Ayrton Senna take that win after a brilliant display. I mean, to be fair, it was the Nelson Piquet who ended up winning the race, but it was Senna who ended up winning the playoffs, because, to be honest, as long as Gugelmin, Mansell and Palmer didn't win, which they didn't, Senna would have been champion anyway. And to be fair, Senna didn't even win. I've already said that, haven't I? The Lotus won too. First time Lotus have won all season, of course, having the reigning champion on their side. It looks like it's going to be the reigning champion not winning a race this season, unless he can stay how he is at the moment. I mean, maybe it's destined to be, and he'll win in Dubai. But you never know. Of course, later on today, if you do want to watch a bit more racing, we've already had the last round of the Repco Supercars, so unfortunately you've missed that. That was on if you haven't watched it, you've missed that. That was on early on today. Last race of the season for the support series as well. We had Super 2, Porsche Carrera Cup Australia, Touring Car Masters, V8 Super Utes, and S5000, and also GT World Challenge Australia. A lot of other last round of the championships, of course. I've already said that F2 ends this weekend in Abu Dhabi. MotoGP also ends in Valencia. We've got early on this morning, yesterday, World Supercross ended in Australia. We've got Ultimate Cup Series ending at Paul Ricard this weekend. TCR Japan and Formula Regional Japan ending at Sugo. But there's a lot of things that aren't ending this weekend. F4 Brazil at Cascavel. I believe that's still got a round after this one, just to make sure. No, it's not. It's the last round of Brazilian F4 at Cascavel. We've got the second round of third round, technically second round of Formula 4 Southeast Asia. Look at the speed Hamilton's got at the moment. He can make a move down the inside and he's going to think better of it. Round the outside though, Verstappen got caught on the curb and Hamilton's taken the lead. That's a brilliant move from the Brit to get back in front of his championship rival from 2021. Neither of these two in the championship fight this season. Hamilton not had the best season. Yes, he's won a race, which is one up and Verstappen's done this season. But it's still a long way to go, about 60 laps. Verstappen now trying to get past Hamilton round the outside through the hairpin. That's a brilliant move to reclaim the lead from Verstappen. And he's back in front with the two Alpines watching on just behind, with Ocon in front of Gasly. Both of them actually in the championship fights, and the team orders come into play here. Anyway, as I was saying, F4 Southeast Asia have already had 2 rounds. They had a round in Zhuzhou, which they were meant to be actually at this circuit, but went to Zhuzhou instead. And then Formula, and then Macau as well, but that was a non-championship race. And then Formula Regional Asia was meant to go to Suzhou, that never happened. They will be at Sepang, should probably say where they are, which is in support of the 1,000 kilometers of Sepang as well. Then Stock Car Pro season at Cascavel as well, Pro Series at Cascavel as well. It is Hamilton trying to go down inside the turn 1. That's a brilliant lunge from Hamilton. He didn't get the move done just where he got it done last lap. We're finally getting some racing in here. Esteban Ocon looks like he could get past Verstappen as well. These two have had their fair share of blows, but Verstappen's going to go down inside into turn 4. Now it's a brilliant move as well. The two Alpines getting feisty as well between each other, but it's still going to be Verstappen from Hamilton, from Ocon, and from Pierre Gasly of Snowden and Piastri. Just watching on behind us. Felipe Drugovich is down in 18th place now. That is such a shame. As there's Gasly, Ocon taking the lead. That's a brilliant move into the hairpin. Finally, this is what we missed 2 weeks ago. This is what we haven't seen since Brazil. From actual racing, we've got a 6-car battle for the lead. It is Gasly going down inside on Hamilton. Verstappen going round the outside of Ocon. Hamilton going round the outside of Ocon. And it's back to Verstappen in front of Hamilton, but in front of Ocon, in front of Gasly. No, Tsunoda's in P3. Tsunoda's got Ocon. So the Japanese driver. Then there's Ocon getting past Tsunoda as well. What racing we've got here. Absolutely brilliant. No, it's Gasly in front of Ocon now. So those are swap positions. And I've got Nick De Vries and all the other people in this battle as well. Look how long that train goes. What a battle we've got on our hands here. Is now Ocon tries to get past Tsunoda through the tricky final corner. You don't want to do any overtaker there, as proved by George Russell. And now Piastri trying to make a move into turn 1. They're almost 3 wide between the two Alpines and Tsunoda. But it's going to be Tsunoda in front of Gasly, in front of Ocon. No, it's going to be Ocon in front of Gasly, sorry. I'm not really going to see how they're doing in front. It's still Verstappen who leads Hamilton. There's Gasly trying to get past Ocon, not to any avail. There's almost a spin there for a Williams and for a Liam Lawson, I think. Or was it a Haas maybe? It might have been a Haas, because Lawson's all the way down in 16th place now. And where's Drugovich? Drugovich is down in 20th place. So he must have gone off somewhere. We're going to have a little look in a second. I'm still going to finish off. I was talking earlier, by the way. Stock Car Pro Series at Cascavel is their second to last round of the season. And also, of course, Moto 2 and Moto 3 for MotoGP support at Valencia as well. I think that is it. Yeah, then later on in the race I'll go through what's on next weekend if you want to watch any of that. There's a lot of slow cars. Maybe someone's got an issue there further back. I think Piastri might have damage. Oscar Piastri might have damage. No, he doesn't. Don't know why I thought that. But he's now past that Stroll. I don't know why they're all so slow going through that part. Gonna get a quick replay just to see what happened there. There is now quite a big gap between this little pack. And was it just... No, they're already quite a big gap. So maybe they were just fighting and then... something happened. They seem alright. Anyway, Drugovich is now down in 20th place. Let's see what happened to him. He's in behind Russell. Just behind Russell. He's already had to pit this race for damage. Lap 7. Now in 16th place at the moment, Drugovich. Go on boards. Oh, I was guessing the curb and spins it 180 degrees. Oh, 360 degrees, sorry. And then spins it again, trying to get back on the track. Thankfully, no cars there. You know, makes it pretty easy to get back round the right way. Lando Norris also has damage, or has had damage. I'm assuming he's pitted because he's right by George Russell. Let's see what happened to him and why he had to come into the pits. But he's always been at the back. Looks like here we got damage, to be fair. So we're not actually on the opening lap, so it's something that we missed. See where this damage took place. Wasn't it turn 1 maybe? Yeah, it was. Well, let's look on board with Lando Norris. So that start from Drugovich looked quite good. But no, Drugovich didn't got past him actually. Let's go on board with Lando Norris for the start. We've got Joe in front of him. And then, I think that's Leclerc and the other Ferrari. And let's see what happens to Lando Norris. Just lock up, just goes in deep, and then he goes to the back of Joe. And Drugovich trying to barge his way through everyone else. Anyway, let's go back to that battle we were watching earlier. I'm about 15 minutes behind, so absolutely quick do that. Almost there. And there we go. Fat Live now. It's Gasly in front of Tsunoda, very close to each other there, and it's Lewis Hamilton who leads. No, it's Verstappen. I couldn't quite see the Mercedes through the brow of the hill. It's going to be a good battle into turn one between Gasly, Ocon and Tsunoda. They're still all right by each other. It's still Piastri, De Vries. Marcus Ericsson down the 11th, so he's had some sort of issue which has pushed him down the pack. He was doing very well, almost on a podium. On the podium, there's only one podium. It's going to be Gasly in third now in front of his teammate Esteban Ocon. And as the championship standings currently look, it is a 23-point gap between Gasly and Leclerc. And as it stands, Gasly will claw that to 8 points. Ocon is a bit further back, he's on 51 points. So, looking at that, it is 42 points. So even if Ocon does win, Ocon will still be in this. If it stays like this, actually, well, as it stands, it will be. Hang on, I'm just trying to think. I think the top 7 will still be mathematically with a chance of being champion come Dubai, but it has to go their way in Daytona. But going into this race, hang on, that's easy. He's got to do 78, 191 take 78 equals 113. So basically, the top 12 are technically still having a chance for the championship, which in my opinion is absolutely amazing. How many people are still having the chance? Where's Tsunoda gone? While I've been looking at championship standings, I think Tsunoda's done something, and he's fallen down the pack a little bit. He's got Nick De Vries in front of him now. He's going to make a move. The two former teammates from the start of the season getting very aggressive. Defending there from De Vries was quite ambitious, but he kept the position, so to be fair to him, doing quite well. But there has always been talk this season about was it a right move to put Nick De Vries into that Red Bull seat, considering Tsunoda is, in my opinion, done quite a lot better, and now he's going to get the position and back in front of the Dutchman. Yeah, back to championship, and after this race it'll be 52 points, so 191 take 52. This is a bit staged as it is. It'll be 139 points. So if none of the top score points, which I mean is ambitious, they probably will. It will be the top 7 going into it. So Hulkenberg, Sainz, De Vries, Tsunoda, and Piastri will all be eliminated going into Daytona, and it will be. Then after that, if it stays like that, it'll be 26 points. So 191 take 26. 165, and it will be the top 4. So Ocon, Joe, and Magnussen will be eliminated going into Dubai. But that's still completely not going to happen because, well, it just isn't, is it? Anyway, let's see how they are all doing. I'll have a little look at leaders. Hamilton's now in front. Here we've got a good battle between Gasly, Hamilton and Verstappen. Verstappen's been reeled in. Verstappen's now not in. Hamilton, sorry, is now not in front. It's Verstappen who leads Hamilton, who leads Gasly, who leads Ocon, and I did not realise that they were all right by each other again. And we have now got a race on our hands for the win, which has been like that almost every single race. This has been one of the best F1 seasons in a while. It's going to be Hamilton v Gasly for P2 as they go towards turn 14. This will be tight. One of them's going to have to back off. None of them back off. Hamilton's round the outside. That's a brilliant overtake. Someone's lost their front wing. I think that's one of the Haas cars. I think that's Nico Hulkenberg, which is such a shame for the German, who is going to have to pit for a brand new front wing. Just saw it in the background, him going into the back of, I think that was Yuki Tsunoda. So that's the second person who has gone into the back of Yuki Tsunoda. Of course, we saw George Russell go into the back of him earlier on this race. You know, Hamilton going round the outside on Gasly. That's a brilliant overtake to get past the Frenchman, as Ocon, sorry, the other Frenchman in the Alpine. But they're going to be 3 wide going into turns, whatever this is. It'll be brilliant if they can keep it, and they're not going to be able to, unfortunately. And one of them had to back off, and it's going to be Ocon in the end. Gasly, sorry, he's going to be down in P3, 5. Is it 5? P4? P4. Snowden in P5. So he's going to try and make that P5 P4. It's going to be the Asian driver, the Japanese man, The Japaman. Okay, forget I said that. In China, not too far from his home circuit. Of course, Motegi was in a decent race with Snowder. He would almost won it, in fact. But had to settle for a P3. But it still was Verstappen leading him quite a way. I wouldn't mind seeing Verstappen win, to be honest. How good would it be to see every single person? There's another front wing flying off in the background as well. Just saw that looked like a front wing of Oscar Piastri. Was it Piastri? Yes, it was Oscar Piastri, whose front wing flew off in the background. And unfortunately for him, that is some damage. Let's see who he ran into the back of. Looks like Nick De Vries. It was Nick De Vries he hit. Kind of wanted to get on board there. And let's see. We'll watch Hulkenberg as well in a second, see what happened to him the lap before. Just running from the back of Piastri, that's a shame. De Vries, sorry. That is a shame. And now Hulkenberg, let's look at him. Currently actually in the pits. Currently as we're watching it in the pits. Also someone else got damage, I think. Someone else has lost their front wing. I saw another one fly off. It was his teammate Kevin Magnussen's. That is huge for Haas. Kevin Magnussen hits his teammate. Which is a massive shame. Of course, having to check out because Hulkenberg's going so slow because Hulkenberg hasn't got a front wing himself. And let's see what happened to Hulkenberg then on board. Going into the final corner. Is it Tsunoda again? Yes, it is. The third. Oh no, we already know it's Tsunoda. Yeah, we already know that. Don't know why I'm hyping that up so much. Also getting news, Drogovic has crashed. So Felipe Drogovic has apparently crashed out on track. He's right at the back. So unfortunately, it looks like his top 10 point scoring streak will be over come the end of this race, because I don't think he's even in it anymore. No, he's getting out of the car. So while we're watching replays, Drogovic is out of this race. Which is unfortunate for the Brazilian, but the streak had to come to an end eventually. He went wide actually there, going in exit turn 2. Just pushing too much, it looks like. Of course, nowhere near anyone else. Let's go on board, just spins it around and then taps the wall. Could that have maybe broke the suspension? Let's go on board all the way, see it from the start what happened. So going through the hairpin of turn 11, sorry, did the spins it. And then on the grass, can't slow the car down, and unfortunately it taps the wall. And then it's actually still going. So you can see the suspension there, and there we go, suspension's gone as soon as he tries to turn in and into the wall, and that's the other suspension gone, and that's Drogovic unfortunately out of the race, and his point scoring record gone very early on in this Chinese Grand Prix. Anyway, let's go back to live now. About a minute behind. We're going to fast forward this battle. In front it's still Verstappen who leads Hamilton, and the Alpines behind them, both doing quite well. Hamilton almost getting past Verstappen there. He's very close actually. Verstappen, hang on, missing a very good battle there. Let's watch all this battle, then we'll catch back up. See Hamilton going round the outside through turn 9, and then turn 10, almost flat out. He's going to get it, and so is Ocon. But then Gasly, is he going to try and make a move from Verstappen? Is Verstappen going to go from first to fourth in a few corners? No, he's not. Verstappen's going to dive down inside on Ocon. Those two have had their wars. Of course, Brazil 2019, no, 2018, sorry, it's one of the first races that come back to memory. And now they're going to try it through the final corner. That doesn't work, does it? Yeah, it does. Good move that from Verstappen to get past Ocon. Anyway, let's go back live. I was almost 4 wide there. Tsunoda now getting involved. Now Tsunoda in P3, so very good racing from the Japanese driver. And they go back live now, and it's Ocon in P2. Hamilton leads from Ocon from Tsunoda from Verstappen. So Verstappen falling off a bit now, unfortunately. So yeah. What am I looking at? I don't know, but we are having a little bit of a gap for racing, so we'll go for the little ad break. Not an ad break, but I'll go and then you can see them. Short commentary, and I'll be back at the end of this lap. Back now, because I look like a big mess there further back between this group. Not sure what happened there. Quickly rewind to see what happened. There we go. Like some dust kicked up, maybe film went right. Leclerc's up into the points now. I think the dust, to be honest, was that Williams, Alexander Albon. So yeah, minutes catch back up. Got 20 seconds off now. Leclerc's doing very well, especially with Russell on in 16th place. And got hit very early on with damage. Leclerc now up to 8th place. So it stands, Leclerc will extend his championship lead, which is very unlikely going into this race after qualifying. With Leclerc in 18th and Russell in 3rd, that's basically even not put on his head because Leclerc's not in 3rd, but he is up there definitely. Lap 23 of 71. And it's Ocon trying to take the lead of this race, and Ocon does take the lead of this race, and Tsunoda trying to get past Hamilton as well. Ocon won his first race at the US Grand Prix in Road America a few weeks ago, and now he's trying to win his second race of the season and the third of his career here in Zhuhai, China. So Hamilton is able to stay in front of Tsunoda. Verstappen is in front of Gasly. We haven't seen much of Verstappen since he lost the lead a few laps ago. And also at the back of this pack is Lance Stroll, and everyone else seems to have disappeared a bit. Is there anyone? How's Ericsson doing in his first race in 5 years? Well, first F1 race in 5 years, not his first in the series. 5 years. Down in 11th. Was running in P5 or P4 at one point, but I think things didn't go his way with like checking up, which is a big part of this, and then losing positions, and then things happening. Yep, that's F1 fantasy for you, but it's still Ocon who leads this race, and it's still Hamilton who's trying to put pressure on him, and it's still Verstappen who's right in front of Gasly, and it's still it's Logan Sargent who's getting in this battle as well. The American, of course, one more home race this season at Daytona. Already won this season at Sentul in Indonesia, not too far here from China. It's another annoying in the morning time for the Americans. It's about an hour earlier than what time the Indonesian Grand Prix started. Still not the best time for Americans. So now Hamilton trying to get past Ocon through turn 9. He's not going to be able to do it, is he? He might do it. He is going to do it. Hamilton leads this race. Yet again, the pole sitter has reclaimed his lead. There's Verstappen getting past Ocon as well, who's actually quite slow and slowing down Tsunoda. Verstappen now into P2 as well. And Sargent trying to get past Albon. There's a three-person overtake from Sargent. That's going to slow Tsunoda and Gasly down. Drama here. That's Zuhai. And they're almost 3 wide to her back as well. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we saw a front wing flying around. Did I mention that Stroll's also in this battle? I don't know, but he is. One of the championship contenders, currently in P3, 20 points off is Lance. Going into this race, as it stands, he's closed it a bit, not too much though. Sargent getting past Gasly as well. Logan Sargent doing quite well in the Williams. And they're all a bit further on back, the other group. Clawing the rest of these lot back in, which is a good thing. Leclerc makes a lunge on Nick De Vries. And is it going to work? He gets a bit too much curb, which slows him down, and unfortunately it's not going to work out for Leclerc this time around. Now Leclerc getting past De Vries anyway into turn 10. It's a good move that. Anyway, do we keep watching these or do we go back into the leaders? I mean, how are they doing? It's a free car battle for the lead. I mean, it's for the lead, so it's a lot more important if I say so myself. They might not be going too close to each other yet. I'm sure they will eventually. Anyway, it's still Hamilton who leads Verstappen, who leads Ocon. There's 2 arch rivals and Ocon fighting it out. Well, the 2 arch rivals from 2021. I'm sure they've made up the differences. I'm hoping that Ocon and Verstappen have as well from Brazil 2019, 18. Possibly not, considering their driving style. In a certain Vegas race, which happens in an alternate universe. The Vegas qualifying, sorry. The Vegas Q1, an alternate universe, which does not know existed. Anyway, enough of that. Still, these top 3, I said they're gonna battle, but to be honest, they're not at the moment. And there's Hamilton taking. No, Hamilton was already in front, wasn't he? I think he was. And now Ocon's gonna get past Verstappen, and this battling could draw in the rest of the pack. Got Logan Sargent in 4th, kind of on his own at the moment. Already Stroll's not too close to him. But now Ocon even trying for the lead there. He's going to get on the curb, just like Leclerc did the lap before on De Vries. And that's going to invite Verstappen to get past him into turn 9. He's got the outside line in turn 8, which will go into the inside line for 9. And is it going to make it work out? Yes, it does. And Verstappen is back into P2, you know, back how they were. Good move that from the Dutchman. But Verstappen, he has shown a lot of good pace this season. But it's engine failures and just pure unluckiness from the reigning world champion, which has meant that he's not in a championship fight this season at all. Not even he's not even mathematically in it. Unfortunately, neither is actually Hamilton. So the top 2 have not had the best season, but trying to claw a few late positions in the championship with a good result. And there's Verstappen trying to get past Hamilton, and he does down the inside. But Hamilton got the inside line for turn 2. Verstappen goes very deep into 1, which invites Hamilton into 2. Turn 3, no overtake. Not really an overtaking opportunity. Sargent's going to try and get past Ocon going into turn 4. And he has the inside line for 5. Sargent goes wide. That can invite Stroll past him. And I think it might do. They're side by side going through 6 towards turn 7. This is a good four-car battle here. Sargent down the inside on Stroll. Now Stroll's around the outside on Sargent. He makes that work. Snowder also passed Sargent. Stroll's up to P4, which is great for his championship hopes. Gasly now down on P7 as well, which is disappointing for him. Anyway, still Hamilton from Verstappen from Ocon, with now Sargent using a few positions. We're on lap 28 of 71, so almost halfway. I think that's 7 laps off halfway. And I'm going to let you watch these battles without commentary, so I'll see you in a lap's time. Back now with Tsunoda going off the track. Tsunoda's, I think, out of the race, is he? He definitely lost a lot of time in the back of the pack, and I think he had a little collision with someone. He's still going. He's just behind Nick De Vries. He's also lost a few positions. Now in P12 now is Tsunoda. What happened there? For Yuki, that's a shame for him. Going off the track. It was a move on Hamilton, who was actually trying to get involved in the lead of the race. Verstappen, is that Hamilton? I don't know, but he got in the grass in the braking zone, and unfortunately that sent him around, or almost around, and then off the track. Let's go on board with Yuki and see what happened there. Of course, as soon as I go and do something, stuff happens. And then let's see, he kind of runs into the back of Hamilton there. And gets in the grass, loses the car. But obviously while I was gone, it's been Verstappen and Ocon have both got past Hamilton, and they've got quite a gap on him now as well. Anyway, let's see about live. Almost back live. There we go. Back live now, and it's still Ocon from Verstappen. Hamilton and Stroll have caught back up to these lot. Ocon looking to try and win his first race since Road America a few weeks ago. Verstappen trying to win his first race since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix of last year. Hamilton going for the first win since the French Grand Prix of this year. And Stroll going for his first win since... I'm not too sure, to be honest. As Hamilton's lost his front wing, pulse as Lewis Hamilton's hit Verstappen going into turn 1. That is huge. Now surely loses Mercedes any chance of winning the Constructors' Championship now. Because Hamilton will have to pit, and he'll be right where his teammate George Russell is. Yes, I think people will be pitting around now anyway, but Hamilton's lost his front wing, and the pole sitter who's been up there in the front of the pack all race long is now lost his front wing. And actually, no, now he's been overtaken by George Russell. George Russell's caught up. Somehow, George Russell has caught up. That is beyond me how he's done that, to be honest. Let's got reappear on board with Verstappen. Hamilton, sorry, of him running into the back of Verstappen. And let's just see. He just outbrakes himself. Verstappen kind of gets held up by Ocon. And that is why Hamilton runs into the back of him. And that is why Hamilton will now have to come into the pits for a brand new front wing. And I'm assuming he was going to pit sooner or later anyway. Because they normally pit off the hards about halfway through the race. And we are basically halfway through the race. It will take a few laps. So we're back live now. It is now Verstappen, no, Stroll who leads Pierre Gasly, so I think Verstappen's pitted. I'm assuming he's pitted, because I'm not sure where else he would be, to be honest. The strategy they normally do is go and start on hards and go on to a few sets of softs, so yeah, I'm assuming that is what Verstappen has done, and I'm assuming we'll be seeing more people pit shortly. We're just going to keep going, then we'll go to a break once most people are pitted and they're all spread out. You know, Verstappen's come out in P11, so just behind Alexander Albon. Ocon also pitted. Who else pitted? Tsunoda as well. I think Lando's always been down here. I'm to pit early on, unfortunately. And Ericsson's Sainz as well. Ericsson's got no rear wing. That is a massive shame for him. Marcus Ericsson in the pits without a rear wing. He must have been hit by someone. I think maybe Piastri if he's down there. Marcus Ericsson, unfortunately, without a rear wing in his pit stop. I'm not too sure when that would have been when he lost it. Maybe here, coming into the pits, potentially. He's got Hamilton in front of him. Spins it round, coming into the pits. And then, oh no, that is stupid from Ericsson. Unfortunately, looks like we might be seeing Ericsson's old self as he comes into the pits with now a damaged rear wing, which it really shouldn't have been. He had Hamilton in front of him, which held him up a bit. He is now out of the pits, down in 19th place, and it looks like a lap down. I'm assuming the other people in front of him still have to pit, so unfortunately, it looks like the super Swede. There's not going to be any special luck for him. As currently, it's George Russell actually in front. Yeah, he's the one to beat. George Russell actually lapped Ericsson. It's Russell and Hulkenberg who still actually need to pit because they are pitted early on with damage. And it looks like Verstappen will be in the net race lead. I think Albon, but yeah, Russell just came in. So it's Verstappen and he's got behind Magnussen. Had to pit early on with damage. I think Albon didn't have to pit with damage. I don't know what he's doing. He'll probably come into the pits this lap maybe. No, he's not. Neither does Magnussen, but Verstappen can get past Magnussen. Gets built on the curb as Hulkenberg is now into the pits. That's going to unlap Marcus Ericsson. So George Russell as well. Also in the pits is Verstappen now into P2, just behind his former teammate Alexander Albon. And I'm going to go for a quick break while I see people catch up to each other. I'm sure Magnussen will be in, so it doesn't really matter to him too much. While we're here, I'm going to give you a little rundown of what is happening next week in the world of motorsport. Of course, not in December, it'll be next week, so not much happening, of course. But on the Thursday and Friday, it's Indian Racing League and Indian F4 at Madras. And then we've got on The weekend we've got Asian World Racing Championship at Chang International Circuit, Australian Superbike at the Bend, F4 Southeast Asia and Formula Regional Asia at Sepang. Again, they're supporting the Asian Le Mans that weekend. Also we've got the Daytona 305, of course. As I've already said, Asian Le Mans Series at Sepang. We've got Extreme E at Chile for the Copper X3. There's Verstappen getting past Albon. I think Albon's already pitted, so I think Albon has actually had a blinder pit stop. Over that, I had to pit for damage earlier on. Yeah, then we have the next round of Indian F4 and Indian Racing League at Madras, so it's a double header there that weekend. And then the final race of the season for TCR Brazil and TCR South America at Cascavel. And also last round of the season for TCR Spain at Barcelona. And I think that is it for that weekend. Yeah, it does look like that now Verstappen has been caught up by slight of Stroll, so in a minute we will be able to go back and go through some things. But there we go, they are back going. Here's Stroll. Quicker than I thought, to be honest, these lot catching up. They have done it. Now Stroll closing him down. These two fighting it out. Stroll, he's won twice this season in South Africa and Slovakia, that's it. I don't think he's won any other races this season. But he has had a very good season so far. Now Stroll going down the inside, he gets a bit on the curve, but he's going to get the move done, and that Stroll takes the lead of this race. He tries to win his third race of the season. It's a great move from Stroll down the inside on Max Verstappen. And he does take the lead of the Grand Prix for the first time today. Is Albon watches on behind. I think he's on older softs because he's not as quick as these two. So he must have pitted for damage earlier on. He must have lost his front wing or something. It would have been a bit later on than everyone else because they've already pitted the other ones with damage. So yeah, anyway, while you watch this, let's go through some more action. We've got on the 8th of December the 12 hours of Kuwait Motor Town, which was actually the weekend. It was actually meant to be a double header. That weekend was meant to be the Kuwait Grand Prix, meant to be double header for the 24-hour series and F1, but of course Kuwait couldn't host both of them, so that ended up being just that. And of course F1 practice was actually meant to be on Thursday, with the Kuwait 12 hours on the Friday, and then all the rest of F1 on Saturday and Sunday. Going back to it, we've got India Racing League in F4 India at Chennai Street Circuit. We've got Nitro Cross at Glen Helen in Vermont, California, sorry. E-Trophy Andros at Val Thorens, the first round of that season. What else have we got? We've got Copper Truck last round there at Sao Paulo. Same for NASCAR Brazil Sprint Series in Interlagos. Same circuit. Verstappen now leads this race by the way. Lap 39 of 71, over halfway now. And it's Verstappen who leads Lance Stroll. But Stroll looks like a race here. We'll stop going about other races in a second. One last thing, on the 9th of the 10th, if you do want to check out, is the Race for Mental Health 5. It's older 23 hours on iRacing, hosted by Jimmy Broadbent. So if you want to check that out, then do, and if you can donate, please do for that. And then the final weekend of racing, main racing this season, is it the final one? Yeah, it is the final racing. You've got the Dubai Grand Prix, we've got the NACAM F4 Mexico City non-championship race. We've got the E-Trophy Andros at Andorra, and also the last round of the Stock Car Pro Series at Sao Paulo. Also, what day the week before this is also rookie orientation tests for the Formula 500. On the Saturday it'll be the actual F1 drivers, and the Sunday it'll be the NASCAR and the IndyCar drivers. And then that's it then for racing this year. Well, main series at least. I don't know about next year calendars because I can't be bothered. Anyway, it's still Verstappen leads Stroll. Albon is actually catching back up to them. Oh no, it's Logan Sargent now, so Albon must have pitted. And Logan Sargent's caught back up. Back to this back. Where's Hamilton? Oh, he left down damage, didn't he, of course. Down currently all the way in... Where is he? Am I being blind? No, he's 18th. Such a shame. Looks like Lawson also maybe had damage at some point. Tsunoda. Leclerc is always down there. Same with Joe. Fortunately for these lot, them lot, sorry, they are quite far back. It looks like any chance of them winning is over. George Russell's actually up here. He's done very well. The championship leader, former championship leader, sorry, started P3, sorry, had a front wing damage at the end of the second lap. Well, no, it would have been the start of the second, was it? Well, no, it was the end of the second lap, I think. Let's do a hold up about a front wing. That's a pit for front wing damage. Lost a lot of time. But it's done brilliantly to catch up, back up to P4. Now with Logan Sargent just in front of him, and maybe he can reclaim his championship lead and potentially even win for the first time since round 1 in Argentina. It's crazy that people who've won soon, more recently, for example, with teammate Hamilton, isn't even in the championship fight. Crazy to think that Russell has been that consistent over this season. Got the most podiums, I think, of any other driver. You see, maybe Charles Leclerc's actually got quite a few as well, because he wasn't as consistent near the start of the season. But we are watching the front runners battle. Let's watch at the end of this lap. I'll go, and we can watch them for a lap. So to go around the final corner, doesn't look like any overtakes. Let's turn the volumes up and listen to the noise of these engines. The lap points be gone. It's Lance Stroll who now leads for the first time. No, I think he's already led once this race, but he's back in front. It wasn't even that long ago that he led, so yeah, back in front is Stroll. He's got Verstappen behind him. Now George Russell in P3. He's got Logan Sargent. So while I've gone, they start to drive, which is nice. Now I'm sure there'll be no overtakes until lap 40, lap 42, lap 70, lap 67. Let's just say around there. Won't be any overtakes since then. Obviously a joke. That's been quite a good race here today. A lot better than California Grand Prix last weekend, of course. If I do sound a bit tired, that is because I'm commentating from the UK and it's currently just before 8 AM in the morning, so yeah. That water does not taste very good at all. And there's a bit of... Oh, Verstappen's going slowly. I think he's hit someone. They're all kind of checking each other up as they go wide through turn 11, 12. Now it's Stroll v George Russell. George Russell, who was at the back on lap 3 after having damage. hitting back at Yuki Tsunoda. He's now trying to race with Lance Stroll to take the lead of this race. You know what? This looks like a very good battle further on back though. We've got Verstappen, we've got Ocon, we've got Sargent, we've got Piastri, is that? No, Lando Norris. The man who started basically at the back. He would have been at the back if it wasn't for the Drogba's disqualification in qualifying. Now it's George Russell leads, by the way. George Russell takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. It's a great move. I don't know if it's a move. I don't know why I'm thinking it's a great move, but yeah, he is in front now. So well done to George Russell. It's a brilliant comeback. I'm sure he will have to pit soon. I don't know, to be honest. I think he's actually done a brilliant comeback. I think he made a very good comeback indeed from Russell. But now they are caught back. They have caught back up, and it's going to be Stroll who gets overtaken, or almost gets overtaken by one of the Haas cars, whichever Haas car it is. I think it's Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, he was near the back as well. He had to pit not as early as Russell, but still had damage after going to the back of again Tsunoda. So Tsunoda being a menace this race. There's now Sargent trying to get past Ocon. Is that? Yes, it is. Through turn 3 and into down the inside for turn 4. Is he going to make it work? Yes, he is. It's a great move from Sargent to get in front of Ocon. Verstappen watches on further back. He was in front earlier on. Now down in P6. With Lando Norris down up in P8. I mean, those two have not won a race this season. I go on about that so much, but is that massive in terms of this season, considering everyone has won a race who has done every single race. Even Liam Lawson, and he missed half the first season. He's won a race this season. So technically all the people that contracted permanently, or have been contracted permanently this season. You can add Perez to that list actually, but yeah. If it's all the people that have had a contract for a permanent seat at some point in the season, they've all won a race, apart from Perez, Drogovic, Verstappen and Norris. And if you move that to people who've done every single race, it's Verstappen and Norris. But it is still George Russell who leads Lance Stroll, who leads Nico Hulkenberg. Of course, I'll remind you again, George Russell has not won a race since opening round in Argentina. He is 9 points off the championship lead, and as it stands, will take the lead going into the Daytona 305, the Saturday night race in Daytona International Speedway on the road course. And what a race it will be there. On the banking, of course. It's the most banked corner I think F1 has ever used. So, I mean, to be fair, Zandvoort banking is quite banked, but not as big as Daytona, I don't think. Sao Paulo as well, Sao Paulo isn't too banked, I guess. And of course, we're going to an oval later on anyway, for a non-championship race in Indianapolis. For the Formula 1 equivalent of the Indianapolis 500. Which invites people who wouldn't normally drive F1 cars into an F1 car as well. It's Hulkenberg gets Stroll, and Sargent's got one on Stroll, Ocon's got one on Stroll. Where's Pierre Gasly, by the way? Did he have damage earlier on? I don't think so. As Ocon gets past Stroll, that's Gasly behind Norris, so did fall off a little bit by the looks of things, but thankfully it's still here. Stroll there, gets in front. In front of Verstappen, defends Verstappen actually gets past Logan Sargent, so it's 6th place now for the American. He's getting pressured by Lando Norris. Norris tries to go down around the outside, but Sargent's going to try and go down the inside of Verstappen, and he's not going to be able to make it work though. It's Verstappen trying to make a move on Lance Stroll. I think he's a bit too far back, so I highly doubt he'll make any attempt on a move, and he doesn't. Good, quite smart from him not to make a move there. But he's got a great run going towards turn 11. Is he going to pull out to the right, try and go down the inside? No, he's not. Norris will try and get past Verstappen, Sargent, no. Verstappen tries to get past Stroll. I'm getting it all wrong, sorry about this. But doing quite well, all of these lot. And I think Hulkenberg leads, is he? Yeah, he does. Hulkenberg leads Russell down to P3. So it is a good, I keep saying it's a good move, I don't actually see the moves. But Ocon, that's a good move on Russell to get in front of him, and Russell's gone from P1 to P3 in the space of a few corners, I believe. And now Russell getting packed past Ocon, that's a great move through turn 4. And I thought someone had spun round there, I thought that was Lance Stroll. I don't think he did though in the end, no he didn't. But Carlos Sainz in P9, just saw, just behind them. He's doing quite well, started in 18th place on the, no, was it 18th? I think it's 17th place in the end. Also F1 are contemplating adding a point or two for pole position, just like Formula E, F2 I believe do that. Just to make the championship a bit more interesting and make qualifying a bit more interesting. I know it's, to be fair, because at the moment qualifying doesn't really mean much, because like we do see pole sitters like Hamilton currently in 17th and people at the back, Lando Norris is in 6th or whatever, so yeah, there is a bit of a difference between how people do. Anyway, George Russell trying to take back his lead in front of Nico Hülkenberg. Lap 49 or 71 here in China. Zhuhai International Circuit. It reminds me a lot of Sentul, and both these races have been two of my favourite tracks to drive. Personally on the sim before the races to get to know the track, and also just racing in general. Those two circuits are brilliant, and I hope to see Motegi as well, Chang, all these Asian circuits. It's such an underrated group of circuits here in Asia. Of course, we start next season in Asia, and we go to Sepang, we go to Autopolis later on as well. Actually, I think for round 2 is Autopolis. The Chinese Grand Prix was actually meant to be at Ordos. That got cancelled next year due to, of course, the calendar shortening. We also go to Australia later on in the season, potentially at Bathurst. But the other Australian Grand Prix at the Bend was cancelled and moved in the year after. Other Asian races, we've got Indian Grand Prix at Bud, Korean Grand Prix at Korea International Circuit, and technically in Sample Parks in Asia, but it's basically Europe. Anyway, here's a move. Russell back in front. Ocon trying to get by Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg trying to go down when he's hard on Russell, and Hülkenberg reclaims the lead. And Ocon now trying to get past Russell, and Max Verstappen now trying to get involved in this battle. He's just behind them all. I reckon we watch this battle on board with Verstappen once I can get onto him. It's not going to rock on for now as he chases down George Russell. Can he make a move down the inside through turn 7? Watch it from Verstappen's point of view. Verstappen might try and make a move on Ocon. He's a bit far back. He's got it there though. No, he's on the curb and he almost loses the car. But thankfully he's able to keep it in a straight line, but not past Ocon. No, I think he's a bit too far back here. Yeah, they all are. Turn 10, a very early turn in there through turn 10. That could invite someone to get past him down the inside. We'll stay on board with him. I can hear someone, I think, to his right, maybe make him move down the inside. Yes, he does. It's Lance Stroll who's back in this little battle. They're going to be side by side going through the next part of the lap, unless people wanting to pit. Oh, Verstappen wants to pit, but Stroll won't let him. And that's a shame for Verstappen. And that could put Verstappen out of the race. Stroll's... Oh, that is a shame. Stroll's on the inside when Verstappen wanted to come into the pits. Where's my cursor? Come on. Jesus. There we go. Now it's going to ruin Stroll's race as well. And that is Verstappen out of this race. And that is a huge shame. It's another race that Verstappen won't win. And if Verstappen doesn't win a race this season, that might be the first time in ages that the reigning world champion has not won a race all season long. Can't remember the last time that has happened in Formula 1, but it's still George Russell who leads. Verstappen is now out of this race. He's getting out of the car, which is a shame, because he was doing brilliantly today. But the second round of pace stop is what comes to cost Verstappen, whose unlucky season continues to get more and more unlucky. He had a brilliant chance to win today, but unfortunately it's more bad luck which costs him the win. It's these two, the top two, both had damage early on this race. They are now 1 and 2, Russell and Hülkenberg. We might actually pit a bit later on than the two Alpines behind him. It's either both Alpines or an Alpine and a Williams. And they're both coming in anyway, so... Oh, and there's Hülkenberg pushes Russell very wide. That's a very aggressive defending there from Nico Hülkenberg. To push Russell off the track. 20 laps to go here in Zhuhai, China. It'll be such a shame to see this race end, because what a race it has been. But unfortunately, it looks like it won't be lasting much longer. Well, obviously, 20 laps left. And you know what? While they're pitting, I'm gonna let you watch these two battle it out for a little bit. And these two are now back in track, back into the pits. Forced to change onto, I think, the soft tyres. Yeah, onto the soft. And now Tsunoda, who needs Magnussen. These two will have to pit, I think, soon. And Hamilton now in P3, of course. He might have to pit. I think, don't know if he's pitted yet. But he's now in P3. Lawson 4th as well. Anyway, these four battling it out for P3 at the moment. I'm assuming it'll be P1 soon. Let's watch these up battle out. I'm gonna go for a little break again. I'm actually trying to do something, but they keep doing stuff. Hamilton now has caught back up to Tsunoda and Magnussen, who haven't actually pitted just yet. Also, speaking of people, where's George Russell? 10th. Okay, so a bit far back. And now there's someone else in. I'm considering P3. I thought one of them pitted, but maybe not. I don't know, anyway. 56 and 71 at the moment. Magnus needs Sonoda. Hulkenberg was one of the ones up there. So okay. It's got a bit of a mess when I don't know who's meant to be who. Like, I don't know. Lance Stroll, I'm in 17th. He's had a shocking pit window at the moment. So it's a bit ghastly then. He chases down George Russell just in front of him. Almost done there in China. It's been a great race. It's a shame to have it end. But to be honest, I'm a bit confused about who's meant to be where, because everyone always has like poor pit stops and then they go far back. Maybe they hit for damage or something that I don't see. And yeah, it does get a bit messy if I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a bit while they like start sorting each other out. So into the pits comes Lewis Hamilton, the pole sitter. It looks like he'll be not. I mean, we still got 10 laps, about just over 10 laps to go. So you never know. He could still potentially win, but to be honest, since he broke his front wing going into the back of whoever he did, I think it was Verstappen. It hasn't been ideal, to be honest. So yeah, the two Ferraris doing brilliantly, by the way. Second and third. I'm not sure where Joe Grant is. He's in 12th, not even a Ferrari, but he's still. I mean, technically. How do I say this? Ferrari. He's in a Ferrari engine. Alfa Romeo is basically like Alpha Tauri, but not Alpha Tauri, if you know what I mean. Anyway. Anyway. When commentator, there's not much action going on. I know. tired. So we do have still shoulder go down in P4 now. So did someone just overtake him? I didn't notice it. Yeah, Sargent just got bounced like Claire. I don't know how I didn't see that. Do apologise. Logan Sargent is doing that's Albon anyway. I don't know what I was humming that was Albon. Oh, I do apologise for Alex. I wasn't humming the Thai national anthem. Unfortunately, I don't really know what the Thai anthem is. So, yeah. Anyway, still Hulkenberg who leads Carlos Sainz, who leads Charles Leclerc. If you told me that 61 laps to go, that it'll be the two Ferraris currently on the podium, I would not have believed you there. With them both starting near the back, and Lando Norris up here as well, George Russell as well, up to P5. There's Piastri anyway, not even Norris. Don't know where Norris is, but I had a brilliant race to be honest. Of course, it's not had a brilliant weekend, qualified at the back and then just had his front wing broken as a turn 1. Anyway, there's Sargent trying to get Albon trying to defend on George Russell. It's not going to work, and there's Russell now in front of Alexander Albon as he now chases down Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. It's his championship rival, the man who stole a championship lead from him 2 weeks ago in California at Sonoma. And now I think Sainz is going to come into the pitch. I think he pulled over to the right there, did he? No, he didn't. I was just seeing things as well. Leclerc tries to get past Sainz. It's not going to work, and that's going to invite George Russell to get past. Russell going to get past both Ferraris into turn 1. We could see Alexander Albon trying to get into some of this. We could see Oscar Piastri trying to get into some of this. There's Russell being overtaken by Albon. And there's both Ferraris staying in front. Leclerc gets a bit wobbly. There's a brilliant battle going on here now. Sainz in front of Albon, in front of Leclerc. Piastri's now in front of it. And Russell is trying to get past both Ferraris. End up being right at the back of this pack. All the way down in P4, 5, 6, I think P7. Which is a shame for him. Because it looked like he was doing quite well. Anyway. Bit tired, of course. Yes, it is like 20 past 8 in the morning. And I've been up for quite a bit today. Especially with supercars I've been watching. Anyway, Russell, is he going to work on trying to get back past these lot? Let's watch Gasly a little bit. He is in P5 currently, getting potentially overtaken by Oscar Piastri. Not gonna, it might happen. No, it's not. And Piastri actually makes contact, I think, there with Russell. So not ideal. Anyway, there's Piastri now making a move on Russell. Norris trying to make a move on Ocon, just behind Gasly. We're watching Gasly at the moment. You can kind of see what they're doing from here. No, let's watch from Piastri as Russell tries to get past him. Russell, he's at the moment quite a bit far back from Leclerc as it stands. Leclerc will increase the championship lead, which is not what Russell wants going into the final 2 races of the season. I think I just saw the 2 Ferraris racing. There's Norris getting past Piastri, the 2 McLarens battling it out through turn 7. To go through turn 8, the flat out right-hander that goes into the tricky turn 9. And it's still going to be Piastri in front of Norris, but it's Russell now in front of them. I think now we can watch Gasly because they're not there anymore. Anyway, Gasly currently in P5 on lap 63 of 71. He's got Alexander Albon, sorry, in front of him. And he goes down the brow of the hill to start lap 64. Gasly. The last few races haven't been brilliant for Gasly, but his Asian season's unbelievable. He won a few races, got a few podiums, and really did, I thought he was going to be in a championship contention, but unfortunately now it looks like potentially not. But a P5 here would be brilliant, especially with Leclerc. Leclerc's in second now. As Gasly tries to get past Carlos Sainz, he's going to go down the inside, and there's a fire at the back of Gasly's car, and as soon as I start giving him praise, the car fails. He tries to get past Carlos Sainz, and that's such a shame. That's going to lose Sargent his rear wing as well. That's going to put him quite a bit down. It's Gasly, it's tries to Sargent to get past him, to be honest. Don't know who, and now Joe's stuck as well, the home driver. That is such a shame. He's stuck behind Gasly. I'm sure he can try and get into reverse. Yes, he does. That's a huge shame for Pierre Gasly. He was in P5. Now invites George Russell into P5 as well, which is not what Gasly wanted. And I think Gasly could be out of the championship now, if I'm being honest. I don't really see him clawing the amount of points it will be by the end of this race in 2 races. It will be very difficult indeed for Gasly to show any sort of championship hopes now. We still do have about 7 laps to go to decide the race winner, and it's currently Nico Hülkenberg who leads. The 2 Ferraris racing again. Sainz is getting past Leclerc into P2. Russell now in P4, and it's what Leclerc wanted. I'm sure Sainz let him by there. Well, I'm assuming Sainz wouldn't race Leclerc too much. Mainly, no, Sainz has got past Leclerc. What am I on about? Sainz not helping Leclerc out at all. Leclerc wants to be in front of Sainz. I'm sure they're getting all over Sainz on team orders to let Leclerc through, because George Russell's right behind him, and it looks like he might be doing it here. No, they're still racing. They're side by side through turn 10. Who's going to get the moves on? It's going to be Carlos Sainz in front, and now that's going to invite Russell down the inside. Sainz completely screwed Leclerc over, and now Russell's going to try and get past Leclerc, and Russell does get past Leclerc. They're still side by side on the exit of turn 12, but in the end it's going to be Russell. He's got the outside line. They're still fighting. I don't want to put any conclusion to this battle when I don't need to. Russell is now in front of Leclerc. They could be side by side going through the main straight. They still are. It's the side by side ever since turn 12. This is brilliant action here in Zhuhai, China. It's Leclerc, Albon getting involved. Russell now in front behind Albon, and Russell's now lost positions. But Carlos Sainz, this is not good enough for teammates to be doing that to your teammate, especially when he's in a championship battle with the car right behind him. Now Ocon get past Russell. Ocon technically is in for quite a good chance. There's Russell. Through goes George Russell. He's down in front of Leclerc. He's into P3. He's got about 4 cars in about 1 corner. Brilliant driving from Russell. Oh no, that's Ocon. Ocon slowed Leclerc down. He tries to get past Albon, which slows Leclerc down, and Russell now has a massive gap to chase down the top 2 of Hülkenberg and Sainz. They're still battling it out a bit further back. Unbelievable action here in Zhuhai. It's about 6 cars. We've got Albon, we've got Leclerc, we've got Ocon, we've got Verstappen, De Vries, we've got Norris, and we have Sargent as well. Sargent's caught up. Didn't he just lose his rear wing? Sargent's a lap down, I think. He must be. Yeah, Sargent. Hang on, just to confirm it. And yeah, Sargent's a lap down. Okay, it's now Norris into the pits. Unfortunately, he did have to pit on the lap 1. That messed his strategy up completely with everyone else. And now he has to pit late on in the race, unfortunately, and that ruins his chance of any points. Anyway, they're still doing quite well. Leclerc, then it's all contact there between Albon and Leclerc. I thought they were going to have a big off there through turn 3. But Albon basically bumped around Sargent, basically bumped drafting Albon, and in the end that's going to help Sargent out. He's now into P4, doing brilliantly as Logan. But Albon fighting it as well. And I just keep remembering that Sargent, is actually a lap down, so he should be letting Albon by. He should be letting them all by. I don't know why he isn't. Really screwing up his teammate. I thought he was doing well by pushing him to try and get past Leclerc, but in all honesty that just messed them up. Anyway, it looks like there's battling going on for the lead, and with this late on it could be a very good battle for the lead, as Russell tries to get past Carlos Sainz, going through turn 12, through turn 13 to 14. And it doesn't look like any time soon Russell will be in front of Carlos Sainz, but he is looking quite close indeed. Now on lap 68 of 71. 4 laps to go. And George Russell, I think he's the favourite to win this in my opinion. He's got 4 laps to get 2 cars. He's looking very racy, and I think he can get his first win since the Argentine Grand Prix. And Albon down to 11th by the way, so I think he might have pitted. Yeah, he has pitted. Either that or he's out of the race. Yeah, he's pitted. Okay, so the tyre's not able to hold on to him. They are still battling it out over here. Yes, they are. Charles Leclerc, he's got Ocon in front of him. Charles Leclerc chasing down Ocon. He's got the Vries behind him as well, potentially trying to do something. But this is a good battle for the top 3. It's between Russell, it's between Sainz, and it's between Hülkenberg. And Russell looking very close to Sainz indeed. Can he make a move? No, Sainz pits. Sainz has pitted. And that could mean that other people around here have not got the tyres to finish this race. Sainz comes into the pit, so does Ocon. So that will ruin their chances of wins. So now it's between Russell and Hülkenberg with 3 laps to go. This could end brilliantly. This could be a thrilling end to this race. Anything could happen here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it ends up. They go through the flat out turn 6, the tricky turn 7 hairpin. You see Albon there's Albon or Sargent. One of the Williams are further back, I think it could be Albon maybe. Let's have a look. No, it's Sargent who's a lap down, okay. So Leclerc currently in P3 as it stands. The championship lead will be reduced to 3 points at the moment, so as it stands it will be reduced to it's a 9 point gap, 6 points it'll be between Russell and Leclerc going into the final race of the season. But look how close, with 2 laps to go, George Russell is to Nico Hülkenberg. He's going to try and make a move down the inside into turn 1, but Hülkenberg defends very well indeed. But how much Russell's got into turn 2? Yes, he has. And George Russell takes the lead with 2 laps to go, and it could be so important in this championship battle because now it will be only 2 points going into the final 2 races of the season. So close. And just wow, Leclerc in P3 as well. So yeah, it still would be like that. And Lance Stroll, P14. He's going on the radio having some sort of mechanical issue. Don't know what happened to Stroll. He was doing so well, but unfortunately just fell off in one of the pit sequences. And now he's down to 14th for missing out on a very good battle for the lead though. As George Russell and Hülkenberg fight it out. As they go towards turn 11, sorry. It's still Hülkenberg in front of Russell. Sargent catching them up now. I'm sure if I was Sargent, just keep out of their way. Because they're trying to fight for the lead. Hülkenberg has the slipstream. Can he try and make a move? He needs to get a good exit. I think he gets bumped. There's Sargent getting past Hülkenberg. That is not what we want to see. Sargent getting involved, the lap car. And that surely gives Russell the lead win now. Surely, I don't see any other way that this could change the result. But we're now on the final lap of this race. And it's George Russell who leads Nico Hülkenberg. To be fair, Sargent could unlap himself. And he could slow Russell down. He can get involved massively in this battle. Which is not what we want to see. Of course, Sargent is on the much fresher tyres. He had to pit earlier on. And I think Ericsson has got past Lance Stroll. And I get news that Stroll's out of the race. Okay. That's a shame for him. You know, Joe's in front of him. I'm sure you might see him pulled over the side of the track in a minute. If you see Sargent very racy, very going down the inside, tries to at least. Yes, he does. And now Sargent's going to unlap himself. And this could have major implications with this race. We saw Hülkenberg get past Charles Leclerc in the final lap of the Thai Grand Prix about 2 months ago. And now Russell trying to get back past Sargent, and he is going to do it on the final lap of this race. Hülkenberg, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do what he did in Thailand a few weeks ago. He's got one more corner to do it. And let's see how it ends up. Sargent goes down inside. Sargent could really mess up Russell going through the final corner. He might not though. It's going to be George Russell who wins the Chinese Grand Prix by a minute, by not even a car length. That was so close between him and Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg was so close to doing it, but Charles Leclerc right behind them as well did brilliantly to hold on to get that P3, especially where he qualified. George Russell and Nico Hulkenberg had damage earlier on this race, had to pit for repairs, but they did brilliantly to get back up to where they were. But George Russell wins for the first time since the Argentine Grand Prix in March, the opening round of the season. Now claws the championship gap to just 2 points. Lance Stroll, told he pulled over. Yes, he has, and it's double DNF for Aston Martin, unfortunately. Let's see what happened to him. And this lap, I think it is. Let's go on board with him. Let's listen to the engine. And it just goes. He just loses complete control of the car. He has to pull it over to the side of the track. Also, Hamilton apparently is also out. He was running in P6. So let's see, let's listen to the car. Don't actually know where he pulled over. Stroll's already gone, so he's already been moved out of the way, so no need for a safety car or anything. And agonisingly close. It's on the exit of turn 11, going through turn 12. The car just shuts off for Hamilton. He has to pull over to the side of the track. It's been a brilliant P6, especially how when he had damage earlier on. Starting from pole, of course. Unfortunately, he's 2 corners off this race. And there's also another car smoking. Is that Sainz? It was Sainz smoking away. We saw Lawson finish the race whilst having an engine failure. In Brazil, he ended up winning that race, and Sainz going to pull over on the side of the track, just past the finish line. He is one lucky boy, Carlos Sainz. It's like a reverse Julian Bailey at the 1988 Brazilian Grand Prix in SRS earlier on when he pulled over just before the line. It's going to be Sainz just after the line. Anyway, let's go back to live, and let's run through your results for the Chinese Grand Prix. Kevin Dragovic, who crashed out earlier on in this race. That unfortunately means his point scoring run is now over. Max Verstappen in 19th after a collision with Stroll trying to come into the pits. Gasly had an engine failure, Stroll had an engine failure, Hamilton had an engine failure in the final sector. Sargent, he ended up losing his rear wing after, what was it, I think it was when Gasly pulled over. Something happened there. Ericsson lost his rear wing trying to come into the pits because he had Hamilton in front of him. Unfortunately, he's only going to be P13 in his return to F1. He will not be racing for the final 2 races of the season, so that is his season over. And will be the only person to not score a point all season who did a race. So, shame for him there. But he will be back, of course, for the Formula 500 in January time. Albon in 12th, Lawson 11th. He actually got the fastest lap, so he will not be getting the point for that because he didn't get top 10. Ocon in 10th, Norris in 9th, De Vries in 8th, Sainz in 7th, just about putting over in the in lap. Piastri 6th, Magnussen 5th, Snowder 4th, Charles Leclerc in 3rd, the championship leader. Hulkenberg in 2nd, and George Russell wins for the first time since the Argentine Grand Prix in the opening round of the season. Now 2 points in it, going into the Daytona 305. 1 AM it will be lights out there on Sunday. It will be a 8 PM start local time. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.